I opened the RPG club today, and 4 kids came along, 2 girls and 2 boys, 13 years old. A group of friends that they know each other for a while, and they have a very good, trusty connection. And I show them all the games I have, and they were so excited by everything, and mostly by horror games. Like they were like, "We can play vampires, we can play werewolves, Alien, you're crazy." It was such a good atmosphere, and I was so pumped up. And they finally decided to go and play The Walking Dead.
Nice.
Okay.
So we created 4 just totally out of this world characters, and we'll be starting next week. And we're supposed to have 3 more coming next week, so it will be a big 7 players mat table playing fucking Walking Dead. I can't wait. That
Wow.
was
That's cool for the community as well. And
yeah.
just don't send them too many nightmares, or you might have some mums at your door.
I know, right? Because they told me, "Oh, my mom, she has not allowed me to watch this TV show." I said, "Well, you don't have to tell her anything, And then the mom comes at the end of the session. She picks her kids back, and so she asks, "What game did you play?" And the girl says, "A game."
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be fine. I'm not going to emphasize the gore. It's gonna be action adventure. More like a kind of Indiana kind of style. I don't know. It's gonna be fine. Hopefully. Otherwise, we switch to vampire.
Oh, that'll be great. You'll have fun.
Okay.
What a cool thing for those teenagers. That's awesome.
Yeah, like I was, because the excitement there, the genuine curiosity and the freshness of it all, and I was like, I really got fed like with good energy, something really, yeah, it's gonna be great. I look forward to have this club rolling, and it's gonna be amazing. At least, yeah. So I have a bit of I'm not going to go into any spoiler for you guys, but today we're gonna a bit test some limits of the game. Yeah, it's a little experiment. So brace yourselves. Trust me, it's all gonna be fine. I hope so. But yeah, it's not going to be like your typical kind of game. Just saying. So we go in there. I'll read a quick pre-written intro. And we'll jump right back in. After the intro, we'll ask ourselves where those characters stand at the moment. Do a little checkup, on them. How do you feel? These kind of things. And then action. So, feeling disregarded because of the rejection of his new friend Holden from Thornwill's Hall, Elaris was told by Irime that the king has perfectly legitimate reasons not to give his trust easily. Truly Holden, while staying courteous, seemed not moved very much by that rejection, as he thought the dwarfs of Erebor would certainly do the same to an elf intending to enter their city. Elaris and Irime then parted with their respective closed ones, to join company with the rest of the convoy. It seems Holden is keeping a diligent eye on young Narni's education and safety. The convoy had made it through Mirkwood for 8 days, and Elaris could not find decent potable water. But on that afternoon, they made camp near a stream of pristine water in an ancient elf glade right next to the elf path. But at night, Balgor the merchant had another sip from that stream and began to lose his mind and took off running into the wilds. Holden and Elaris, lighting their way forward with the kindness of Varda, found Baldur trapped in a spider net, bundled up high up amidst the ruins of an ancient tower. Holden brought the package down thanks to his rope and grapple, but the spiders were awakened, and 4 Ettercops attacked the Fellowship. Our heroes endured nasty bites but made quick work of those troopers, and are about to finally free Baldur from his cocoon of doom. And that's where we are now. Let's switch to this atmospheric background, which is really there not to describe the scene, but rather give you some kind of, feedback in regard to the vibe, the atmosphere. And let's hear Holden first. And listen to him just having a little health, mind check. How is Holden feeling right now?
He's feeling a bit scratched up, but otherwise no worse for the wear. He just wants to get back to check on the others that they left behind, and he's also feeling unsafe because of the spider encounter.
Very good. To the point. Elaris?
Yeah, Elaris is, overall, this part of the journey through Mirkwood or the Greenwood is a good start for Elaris. He's feeling comfortable here, but his mind is already thinking of the ventures outside it and looking beyond and thinking beyond it, and he's so at home in this wood, but the challenges to come. Right now, a little interested in this old tower that they've discovered. It could be worth a few moments investigation just before we return to the campsite. But if there's risk of more spiders, it could be worth just going back.
Nice. There are shadows all around the glade. The kindness of Varda spread its starry moonlight glow, in this couple of kindness. And that spreads long shadows and, distortions of the environment. Looks weird and alive around, as if the forest was leaning on you and listening to each and every one of your movement, actions, reactions. Tower is nearby, the crumbled keep, all covered in cobweb and slimy spider threads. There's barely a sky visible above. Maybe it's covered with clouds, or is it the canopy reaching that far high over this glade? At your feet, the corpse of 4 Ettercops, split in half and in parts, this black blood thick running out of them. And this bundle, this cocooned man, at the moment nearly inanimated. You couldn't make a guess as what state that person inside finds itself. And this cocoon is lying on the ground.
Yeah. If Holden is happy to,
it's wrapped up
free.
all like a sarcophagus. You can see the face, you can see limbs. It's all like a one long cocoon.
Yeah. If Holden is happy,
some feedback. Yeah.
If Holden is happy to free Baldur from the cocoon, I would like to just ascend the tower and just, if there is anything of interest, and just try to discern the period that it was built, or as I probably have come across other fortifications, outposts through the forest in my times.
Yeah. Why not make a travel roll for that? As in, like, how traveled you are, and how can you... That would be either a travel or a lore or a scan, an explore. Your pick. Holden, knee to the ground, endeavor to knife open the cocoon. Meanwhile, you trudge your way around the ruin and look for clues as to what it is.
Yeah, I'll go scan. But can I have any advantage just because it's my native environment?
Yeah, deal. Plus one.
Plus one. See how we go today. Okay. Good start.
Well, this must maybe, I don't know. It's certainly from the Second Age, you guess, or sometime during the Third Age. Men were going through Mirkwood, coming from the east, the Eotheod, and that could possibly be a remain of their watchtower as they made their way, and before in direction of the northern vales of Anduin. This is not dwarven. This is not elven. So certainly not hobbit. So I think the only culture who made her way that around those parts was the Eotheod, or yeah, I think that's it pretty much. Nothing really of interest. Much. No finding as such. Meanwhile, Holden is at it. It's a tricky kind of surgical, operation. You have to be careful. This thread is solid, elastic. It's a pain to cut through without making a mess. The person inside. But the first thing, I guess, how do you go about it?
I'll try to cut, seeing as how it's a bit of a struggle to cut the strands. What I could probably do is try to cut along the grain, so to say, where it's a bit easier to part the fibers. And then so I'll make a little incision and then just pull it apart.
Okay. As you do so, Alaris is still amidst the ruins. As you do so, it rips apart, and the first thing that strikes you is this green tunic, which doesn't belong to Baldur.
Mm.
And the breasts and the neck and those cheeks and those blonde hair and the circlet. This circlet on her forehead. Irime. It's Irime.
This is what? And I with a little more urgency, remove all the wrapping. You best come down here, lad.
She seems to be breathing with difficulty. Her mouth seems full of slime and spider web. Her eyes, there are still like bits on her face and her body.
Try to get whatever it is in her mouth out. Can you talk? What happened to the others? Are you okay?
Alaris seeing that.
Alaris, hearing Holden call quietly to him, he descends from the tower and comes expecting to see the merchant, and a great surprise to see his ladyship Arame in the tangle of the web. He has had dealings with spiders before, but just the surprise that this has happened. It seemed to him that she was still in the camp when they left, but that could have been missed. But anyway, concern and surprise, and just his dagger carefully removing more spider web, and yeah.
Everyone make a shadow test with Valor.
Okay. And do we do that from the
You
shadow?
you click on Valor,
Okay.
top right of your character sheet.
Oh yeah.
This will roll a d12 plus 1 die for your stat.
One.
And the TN of those of Valor is strength, if I believe. Oh no, it's heart. It's your heart TN. It's a dread. It's a dread shadow test. Trying to resist your dread. Okay. Okay. Both of you take 2 shadow points.
Mm-hmm. On the top right.
Near your hope. You've got endurance, load, hope, and shadow.
Yes, and you just enter the 2 into the top right little. Perfect. Yeah, that adds it to the middle as well. That must be the way.
Yeah. No, not Shadow Scar. Just the one inside. You at the bottom.
The bottom
Shadow
one.
Scar is 0. Temporary is 2.
Okay, temporary. Thank you. And now I have a NAN in the middle.
I see that. I'm trying to fix that.
Oh, because I still have. Oh, yeah.
Here you go.
There you go.
All done managed. Right, so you are 2 shadow, both of you. Your hope is 8 for Holden and 9 for Alaris. If your shadow reaches your hope, current hope, you become miserable. If it reaches your max hope, you become well, you have to all your rolls become ill-favored. Miserable is meaning Eyes of Sauron counts as an auto failure, and if shadow reaches your max hope, then there is no term for that, but you're still miserable. But on top of that, all your rolls are ill-favored. Just so you know.
Sorry, 80. When do you become miserable? When you reach how many?
Current hope. Current hope.
What does it need to get to?
9 in your case.
So I'm 9 already.
You have 9 hope.
Oh, I see.
You see?
So if the shadow gets to 9, is that right?
Yeah. When the shadow gets to 9, you become miserable.
I see. So they sort of come together. Perfect. That's cool.
Yeah. And if it reaches 12, shadow reaches 12, it's a bout of madness. Enfin, it will be ill-favored on all rolls until you go for a bout of madness. You know, it's as long as you want to be in that state until at some point you decide that's too much and you crack a, you know, you crack a fuse. And that bout of madness is linked to either the situation or your shadow path, obviously. All right. She doesn't seem to be very aware of what's happening. Her eyes are still closed. She breathes heavily through the mouth now. It's her, as beautiful as she could be in that kind of setup. I guess now her limbs and arms and legs have been freed. This is when, no need for an awareness test because it's gonna be obvious, they come back crawling from among the ruins and beyond the depth of the woods. Multifaceted eyes, glistening in the night. Red eyes, green eyes, plethora of them, and this clickety sound of them crawling their way towards you.
You best
What
get
do you
ready
do?
for another round with these spiders.
Indeed, good Holden. They will pay for what they have done. So
Laris, make has anyone, sorry, Folk of the Dusk, keen eyes with shadow lore. With shadow lore for Alaris, folklore, no. With your shadow lore, you know, like, I mean, they will keep coming and coming. There is no, like, getting rid of the spiders of Mirkwood as such, you know. You can take on one wave. I will bring on the next one. It's a telephone, you know. The threads are running far and wide.
Let us flee to the glade. Holden, let us flee to the glade.
Right.
I will carry Arame, and you have your axe ready.
All right. Let's do that.
So, whatever state she is in, even if she's still entangled, I'll lift her to my shoulder and away towards the glade with the lamp of Varder, shining towards these spiders.
Sure. All right. So, you run for it. Following back the little pieces of fabric that Holden had tied. Was it Holden who did that, or Elaris? Can't remember. But there were those little pieces of material, fabric, were hanged to show the way back. We'll do a little skill endeavor.
That must have been
for this one. And you guys, it's gonna be a collective endeavor, so you guys can roll one after the other to achieve a certain resistance, to beat a certain amount of checks. And the skills you have at your disposal for this one will be explore, scan, athletics, or stealth.
Certainly, I will use stealth. Again, any advantage in the woods for me, or not this one?
No.
Okay. All right.
You can auto success it with a hope point. Huh?
with the lure. Well,
I mean, it's one of the best, cultural abilities. Like, come on, why pass on it?
Yeah. Just in brackets on the game mechanic, I'm just loving that hope versus shadow, the two attributes.
Yeah, I think it's the heart of the game there, and that's where we are today. I warned you.
All right. So I'm just going to roll it without that. Well, auto success. This is to get back to the glade, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
In a stealthy manner. Okay.
I'm going to use the hope then.
So you still roll to know the quality of the success. Thanks to your magical success, it's gonna be a regular auto success. But we still need to know if you could do better than a regular success. So you roll your stealth as usual.
With the hope point bonus die?
No, you just take 1 point away manually.
I see. It's done already. Perfect. Oh.
Okay. Ooh, a 1. Oh, okay. That would have been a bad failure.
Well, yeah.
Well, this is still an auto success. Somehow, you try to slide your way between rocks and maybe found like some kind of tunnels between a low canopy of various boughs. But that was the wrong choice. And you got all entangled with Irime's hair, grabbing thorny branches. But something it just released at all at once, and you found a way behind you. Holden. Who is holding the lamp? You're holding both the lamp and Irime?
I think I can probably do that. My left
Okay.
hand holding the lamp, and I'd rather Holden had his axe.
And in those sort of circumstances, I could easily imagine Holden, kind of like machete-style man, just opening the way. So you just slipped through an impossible sort of like natural tunnel, and found yourself, in front of the next bit of terrain. As the lamp moves in through this labyrinth, the light sort of like shines in and passes by. You have this weird hypnotic effect of in fact, you have the feeling that you're walking on a moving carpet. That this world is fleeting its way past you. Is sailing past you. And you have this sort of like dreamy feeling that you're going nowhere, but you're still advancing, and it's as if it was only the shadow who kind of like train their way past you. Here we are for another. That was a success, counting towards this against this resistance. Continue the endeavor. It can be the same skill. It can be athletics, scan, or explore. Holden?
I'll be using scan. And Holden has a lantern of his own, though not as magical. He uses that to aid in his looking ahead. And the cool thing is that he's got a small hook on his shield that he sticks the lantern on.
I love this. Nice, fancy, cool. And as you go, you're looking for those. Great success. Okay, this is us.
Nice.
That was the skill endeavor. You managed to find. My camera is gone. You managed to find those. How would you call them? Those little pieces of fabric that you had hanged.
Which trail markers? I think it was
Trail
Alaris
markers
that did that.
It's Alaris who did it?
Yeah.
Okay. What color are they?
Well, I think actually I mentioned just scratching marks upon the trees, rather than any materials, but we can play with that if you like.
So it's marks or hanging materials, hanging fabric.
Yeah, I think I went for scratching
because
marks.
marking a tree, make an incise into a tree, maybe a bit dangerous in Mirkwood. Just you don't want to tease those evil trees, with plant a dagger into a tree just like that. Although I'd say maybe he knew what he was doing and he did it with respect.
Yeah, I think it's just a light scratch upon the surface, but just on a mossy sort of a mossy part of the tree. He just puts a light scratch. I think that would be the elven way rather than leaving material as such.
Okay, love it.
Just a quick.
You guys do your best to. So Holden, you see those scratches, and you're a bit ahead with your orange, glowing orange, old school lantern. Behind you, this blue aura, follows, and the hair of Irime are trailing behind. And Holden, you follow one of this little mark. You're lost for a bit, then find another one, and another one. And another one. And another one. But this one, it shows like as if the cork, the skin of the tree was engraven. It looks like as if there was a kirth, some kind of rune in there. It really doesn't look very subtle, as you were expected, and you check it. The spiders give no real sense of being. You can have you don't really have yet, the focus or the attention to feel them. They were behind. There was this crawling, as you escaped, but you escaped in a stealthy way. So possibly you've made it away. But Holden, you approach this marking, and what you see on the cork is those stick figures you can draw. So you see a hanging man. You see a gibbet, really a crude gibbet. Crack, crack. A rope. And a man, a little stick man hanging from there. And that's the marking.
This marking ain't right. You seen this?
A crude, evil mark it is. After the one we made. Something other than spiders is here as well.
Don't quite like it.
How far do you think we are from the glade now? Seems
Shouldn't be too far now, I reckon. We lost 80. We'll come back.
I clicked on the wrong button. I wanted to mute myself and I disconnected.
Oh no.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Shouldn't.
Give me a sec. I had this shortcut for muting and myself, but it doesn't work. Whatever.
Could I use my shadow lore and lore to have any idea of what hand might have made this marking?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. If you use a point of hope, your shadow lore will give you +2. If you don't, you're gonna have to make it anyway at... Give you a -1 on this one.
Okay. I think on this one I will keep my hope. So I'll just go with chance on it. So
Well, I wouldn't allow a magical success on that. Because it has nothing to do really with your aptitude.
A crude rune that, I'll just give it a little try with my lore.
So -1. So you click on the modifier that is left. To the left.
Okay.
Another success. Okay.
Wow.
Gandalf is with you guys tonight. There is something called the Gibbet King. The legend that some kind of agent of Sauron answering to either the necromancer or whoever is in Dol Guldur or was in Dol Guldur There were words about some kind of servant who may have been his torturer. I mean, the guys who tortured for him, not tortured him. But this guy seemed to have been removed. I mean, eliminated after the battle of 4 or 5 armies. He's supposed to be just, bad memory, removed from the world. But here you go.
Holden, this gibbet, this torturer of Dol Guldur, a gallows. A gallows is a gibbet. Is that right? That's some gallows man or creature of the shadow. His hand is in this. Strange. We have not just spiders to deal with tonight. Let us make haste to the glade.
Agreed.
Good, yeah.
Agreed. I'm not liking this one bit.
I guess it's time for a scan roll to look for the next marking.
Hold on.
I'd have the best of you roll for the two of you. Because you kind of stick together, you're not really separating. So have the best of you do that for the both of you.
Yeah, my scan is +4.
I have 2 pip. Oh well, absolutely. I will lend them as I made the marks. As I made the marks, I will support you in your scan.
You're 3.
Okay.
3. You have 3 in scan.
Plus the lantern that aids me. It's one of those items that gives me extra scan.
Ooh, love it. Let's go.
Nice.
Right. You can confidently see that there are no other markings anywhere. In any direction. You're just confident that there's you guys are beginning to treasure. It's going in circles. You're wasting energy, time. You're becoming an obvious prey. Something is missing. Something isn't right. The forest itself looks as if, from the memory you had, you're good trackers. You're good at orientation. You've traveled. You've been in undergrounds and whatnot. But the geography of it all is different. The forest has moved. Those trees were not there. Oh, what the hell?
We've gone the long way around. I'm not liking this one bit.
We've lost our sense of direction, even though we have done our best to find the path. Our direction is lost. Perhaps we should stop, make a fire, and make our stand. What else can we do?
Everyone roll a shadow test. Valor. So against dread, yeah. The idea to, both of you take 1 point of shadow. How did that play out? The game tonight will be a bit about who are you together when you're lost? What do you become over time?
Well, for Ilaris, the situation is desperate, but he has been lost in these woods before and knows of the confusion and strangeness of these woods. But he does draw hope and confidence from our successes with our stealth and scanning and progress. And we have the lamp of Varda and we have the lamp of the dwarf. So while it is a dark situation, there is I feel the strength of our partnership.
So you think about all that while lighting the fire?
Well, I've only suggested that to Holden. I feel we have lost sense of direction. To run further through the woods would be madness. A fire would at least give us some light in this darkness and to make our stand. But again, if there are more than spiders, then we could consider that archery could come from the woods, or so a fire could be a risk as well. And the trees as well, they will not appreciate a fire here in their eaves. What do you think, good dwarf?
Make our stand. Probably better.
Make our stand. With a fire or just with our lamps?
Nah, it's just the lamps. Fire might take too much time.
And we could spend a little time freeing Yarame more if we have time.
Aye, let's do that.
For her health, and gives me hope.
I'll stand watch while you do that.
Good. And if I have a chance to cut her
Roll
free
a healing, I guess. Huh?
Perfect.
If you want to take care of her.
It is a favorite skill for me. Yeah, her state is unconscious, right? And with some green coming from her mouth, poisoned.
No, she had not. She had no poison. She wasn't spitting or producing anything green. No, she had spider threads in her box here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I'll roll my healing.
Yeah. What do you do to try to reanimate her, and why? Yeah, it's
well,
she's stuck in this sleep.
Just a little water upon her brow and around her mouth to clean, and just cutting free of all the webs. Just taking time to do that carefully as much as I can. The light of my lamp on her face, if she were to awake.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. Waving, wafting the lamp in front of her forehead, in front of her eyes.
I mean, I did have those healing herbs that I could use for one healing, but I think I will save those for now, unless I see that she is wounded in some way, or...
Oh, we said that was a one use? Was it? Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a one use herbs, but if I see a grievous wound or anything, but basically I'm just cutting her free, making her as comfortable as I can. And you said she was unconscious, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just some water, a little water around the brows, and cleaning the face, and making her as comfortable against the tree as I can.
Yeah, you lay her down on moss and amongst roots. You have lit a fire? I can't remember. Sorry.
No,
No,
we chose not to.
and just the lights. Yeah. Holden mentioned that. Yeah. Her head, the back of her head, resting on the moss. Her hair, long blonde hair, spread around it. She looks like an icon in those kind of romantic, Raphaelian paintings. Although she's dressed in that ranger-like attire. She's alive. She's there, but she's still asleep. And whatever a night feels like in Mirkwood compared to a day, whatever cold or heat difference there, temperature difference there is, or the light, or just this sensation that, in fact, when it's day, you're even missing it more. The touch of the sunshine. You can sort of appreciate this moment. You think it should be day. It should be day. There is this kind of haze. It's kind of like this green haze coming in. So time is passing. And you have spent possibly you tell me you took a turn, you watched in turn through the night, and the spiders showed only their eyes in the corner of the darkest corners of those shadowy areas. Could only see those glittering reflections, like a few dozen eyes, like disappearing, reappearing, and possibly some kind of reverberation. Those highways hanging in the canopy, sometimes going like whoa, whoa, whoa. That's pretty much it. Was not the very eventful night. Mm-hmm. If it was, what it was. Kind of lost sense of time already a little bit. But you took a moment of rest, so anyway, because the two of you are not wounded, you recover as many points of endurance as you have in strength. That's for a short rest for non-wounded. Wounded don't recover any endurance during short rest. They need a long rest, which is like a full good night's sleep. Doesn't really matter where. If you're able to sleep a full night long sleep in Mirkwood, you're good. Then if you're wounded and you have your prolonged rest, you recover your endurance points in resistance. And if you're not wounded, you recover all your endurance. But for now, you recover only your endurance points in strength.
So our strength attribute number.
You could, for example, you could click on short below rest, and that will automatically recover you. Gives you as many points of. You have 5 in strength, so you'll go back to full actually. Alaris. Holden, Holden, you need a bit more than that. You have 6. You'll go back to 26. Yeah. So if you click on short
When
below endurance,
When I
should
click
be-
on short, seems to be it's asking me how many hope points to recover as well. Is that
yeah,
leave it at
just
0?
yeah, leave it at 0. That's in case because when you take a rest as well, that's when you can tap into fellowship points. So guys, remember that you have 4 fellowship points for this session. So if you want to automate it now, you can do that, or you just do it manually, however you like. But
So we can recover some hope now, or no?
you can if you want to tap into your fellowship.
Well, that
Yeah.
would be worthwhile. It would be worthwhile for me. We have how many fellowship points?
4 total to share. 1 for 1. Spend 1 fellowship point, recover 1 hope. The thing is, you'd have to, kind of like tell us what's the how that happens. What does it mean? You don't have to first person it, but you can. Huh? But you can storytell what they do, the two of them, because it's between you. If Elaris taps into the fellowship, then it's Holden, giving him advices. If it's both of you tapping into fellowship points, then it's the Elaris and Holden having a motivational, dialogue. If you feel like it, you can roleplay it. If you don't, you just storytell it.
Okay. Well, I think I was in fact already hinting at it in my last statement about how I felt. So obviously a dangerous and dark situation, but I did take solace in the discovering that the success of our partnership, that we defeated or drove off those spiders, that we had successes finding our way through the woods to an extent, that I'm feeling strong about our fellowship in this situation, and certainly I'm very happy to have Holden at my side here in this situation. So I would be looking to maybe just have maybe 1 point of hope back each.
Same.
Well,
Just 1 point of hope back.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Is it? Okay.
So I don't know if it automated it. You probably have now to go. Yeah. But you have to go down your character sheet and take your fellowship down to 2. It actually did automate it on the fellowship sheet itself. Yeah. So if you want to have a reminder of how many fellowship points you have for this session, you do it on your character sheet. But I see that the fellowship sheet was actually updated. Yep.
Good.
Awesome.
So it's safe to change our 4 to 2 on our character sheet. Do you think it would? Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, therefore. All right. What's the plan, heroes?
That's the question. Well,
Right,
we have
reorient ourselves. Let's take a look at my compass.
Okay. Compass is going.
Shite. So no good.
in the as the morning comes, we can. I could climb the classic climb up into the canopy and see if I can see any sign of the glade or from there.
Okay. You climb.
Mhm.
This tree isn't very welcoming. Some branches crack under your weight. Others just grabs your pants and stuff. You climb as high as you can, but the vantage point isn't good enough for you to see. You can't actually find a taller tree than any other. It seems to be just a big maze of, disarticulated trees
Mm.
with branches going into weird directions. There's no wind there. Sometimes you see trees, they do weird stuff, but when there is the wind or in the forest, they tend to grow harmoniously, because there's this ranging of the lower, the middle, the oldest tree, and they tend to grow kind of harmoniously in the forest. But here, like they seem to be like intricately, stuck into each other, competing, and there isn't really a way to get a good vantage point.
Mm.
So I won't have even you rolling for that. I'm not going to have you roll for. I know that at this point you feel that that's not the way.
Mm. I descend back to our place, the foot of the tree, and let Holden know that with as reassuring a smile as I can muster, that even the trees in this place are against us. I could not find any view from the boughs.
Don't
Roll a
Ah.
d12, Elaris. A raw, just a raw d12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing special. Sorry about that.
And how strange it is that your cunning compass is not working.
I am not liking this one bit. Perhaps we pick a direction and keep going.
Well, we had the trail of marks that we did find in this direction. We can use that as some guide to carry on in that direction.
Aye, maybe backtrack and see where we were misled.
And once again, we can mark again from this spot towards where we go. So at least we can come back to this spot where the gallows mark is upon this tree. That cruel hand that made it. Yes, so our best guess, my fellow.
All right, let's do it.
Let's proceed with caution.
You look for signs of those markings, and you found them. You find them. You can't find though the gallows and the hanging man.
Gone.
But you find again a series of them. I don't know how you spaced them. Every 20, 50 meters. Space them in a way, and they're marked in a way, I guess, that they give some sense of direction, I suppose, like it's not just like a row, like possibly it's like, an arrow, or, You follow that, but that leads neither back to the glade nor the tower. And it seems to go for ever. Much longer than the first stroll you had, coming from the glade to the tower in the first place. Much longer. Just you've already spent half a day following those markings. Yeah, they kind of give you a sense of direction, sure. It seems to be, headed somewhere. So this is another weird one. This is another,
Mm-hmm. And Yarame still sleeps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you make a break and try to wake her up?
We could do
No,
that.
let her sleep. Let her sleep. I think.
Okay. Take. I think if you carry her on your back for like 6 hours in a row, 3 to 6 hours in a row, I'd say that's 3 endurances, 3 points of endurance. Yeah. Then let's say that you take a rest.
Mm-hmm.
You make a break. You take a short rest, so you recover 5. So you should be good. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
But thanks to this short rest, Holden can go up to full now. Yeah. You're both at full endurance again. She's a slender lady, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just she's not plump, sinewy, body. But well, she's still not made of, of feathers. So when you take this rest, like, you can't, you doze. You doze and you just, you snooze down and off you go. And you go into this dream.
This is Ilaris, huh?
Yeah. This is Ilaris dreaming. Well, in his dream, the story goes, we know he's dreaming. You'll wake up soon. Don't worry. Ilaris is not dreaming. Ilaris is having a trip. Ilaris is somewhere else. Ilaris has no memory, no sense of geography, past, future, no referent. Ilaris is this I, this mind, this consciousness that senses Dol Guldur. You can sense it. It's a vague shape. It profiles itself in the midst of the forest. It's this dark scar, this ancient jewel of elves that became this, this wound in the world. And Ilaris hears the sounds like chantings of sorts, sounds of elf, human, dwarf, dirges of sorts, lamentations, groans coming from the underground dungeon, rising above the fortress like black shrouds of despair. And these visual sounds, as dark as they are, come together in a swirling tornado, a black swirling tornado of despair. And swirls and shifts towards. You have this sense suddenly, this confirmation. Why now? Why would you have a reference suddenly? Doesn't matter. The tornado shifts towards Dale. and the image switches, and suddenly Elaris is in, I don't know, is he standing alone in the middle of a foreboding rocky desert? And in this desert, you see in the distance this shape profiles itself. You see this contour of a gibbet and a rope hanging. Without a man hanging on it, you see this gallows in the middle of nowhere. And the rope that goes like... Oh. Holden, you were keeping watch for a while. The lady is still asleep, as is your friend. And he's been sleeping for much longer than you would have liked. You start to wonder, is will he wake up? Should you wake him up?
Oh yeah, I will.
Sure thing.
Aye, Alaris, shaking him. You're with us, lad? You've been out for a while.
And I wake, my eyes tainted by the shadow and strangeness of my dreams. A vision of the gallows in the gallows in a desolate place, and a memory and a vision also of Dol Guldur, the dark fortress of shadow in the south of Mirkwood, and there tortured souls of dwarves and human and elf. The darkness. There is good in this forest, but there is so much darkness. Good to have you by my side. Thank you for waking me from that. The shadow is here, around us.
Wanna give another go to patching Irame up? Maybe she'll wake.
Yes, you speak well. It would be good to have her eyes awake with us. So yes, I will go to the good lady and spend time again to wake her gently from her sleep, if I can. You're on mute, 80.
Can't you hear me? No, I was just being a bitch and asking if your mic was touching your beard sometime when you talk, because it does sometimes this.
Okay.
That's me being
Okay.
really just picky nitty. It's not so much of an issue. Sorry.
I'm not sure if it's touching my beard or
No worries. No, so far so now it sounds okay.
I'll raise
Don't
it a little bit.
Yeah, don't have it just in front of your. Don't put yourself in a bad spot just for that. Roll healing then.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Gosh. At least you can there is some reflex, you feel her mouth, and you lift her head and something like something swallows, so she can at least get a bit of water from the the little you've left in your pouch, in your water, what do you call them? Sap, whatever. We call them the invesi because those the sap was used to, the organ was made to was used to make water containers. At least she's hydrated. But feeding her with whatever you have, lambas. By the way, dwarfy dwarf, a little snack would be welcome. What kind of rations do you have? I mean, this is not like we're not going really like counting to go survival game, but what's happening story-wise in regard to that? What do you have? What kind of snacks do you have? There's lambas from Elaris. Water's running low.
We probably have some dry rations, so like dried sausages, dried fruit, that sort of thing.
In Poland, they have those. They call them cabanosy, and it's like it's a sausage, dry sausage, very dry sausage, like big like that, but as long as you want. I mean, as long as you want, and they go in rolls.
Yeah.
And you basically
pull a piece off. And eat
it's
it.
not licorice. It's sausage.
Cool.
So I can imagine like you can make necklaces, or you can make bells out of it. You can So whatever kind of sausages dwarves, I guess they must have like hundreds of recipes for sausages.
Yeah.
I imagine they must be pretty good at it.
Yeah. Hands one. He'll offer one to Elaris also. Have a bite.
Yeah. Elaris,
thank you.
Yeah, you say thank you, and you just realize that she's still asleep. Roll a shadow test, Elaris. This one with your wisdom.
Okay.
So technically, guys, when you roll a shadow test with wisdom, that means that you're rolling against sorcery.
No modifiers. I could use hope. But...
Nope. No.
Okay.
Yeah. That's 1 point of shadow for you. What do you do, guys? Do you keep following the markings?
No.
Well,
Compass is still going whirly. Is my compass still a helicopter? Not liking our choices.
I think we seem to have lost the trail. We could try and go back on our markings, but to keep moving does give hope, more hope than sitting still in this darkness. So I think we proceed carefully, following the markings as best we can in the direction that we hope is the right direction.
Well, the forest is old, there's and tangled with ivy and hung with lichen. See some from time to time black crows or black squirrels and weasels and whatnot, creepers and crawlers, sometimes snakes, ponds of dodgy looking water not reflecting anything, even the light as you go with it's the end of the afternoon and you already need your lanterns lit, and some of them ponds don't reflect water, just as if it was tar. You go through areas littered with dense cobwebs that force you to circle back and around. Everything starts to be more and more, and I mean, there was this it was already dank and musty, but the fact that something is getting over, slowly, this understanding that you're following a path that you have not chosen, that you're just that those markings maybe just you have no idea, are they in your mind, has someone put them out there for you, this suffocating air starts to get onto you a little bit, bit by bit. Then you have like stuff going on in the woods, crawling, groaning, and nothing. That a flash of eyes and tack. We're getting into Mirkwood proper, and no water. The night arrives, sets down. At this point, there wasn't a big decision-making process. You found yourself making camp at the foot of a jagged hill, broken with multiple clefts and various brushes and brambles climbing over it, and the whole thing covered again with old gnarly trees competing for each other's space. In one of those clefts where there were a little less, there was a little less bramble, could manage to find a spot easy to defend, and that's where you made camp that night. And whoever will be having a moment of rest, Holden will have this moment, at some point. Larry's keeping watch, taking turns, and Holden is having a trip. We know it's a dream, but Holden has no idea. Holden is back from the south. Gondor? Rohan? Umbar? Where from? The south. You come from the south, and you're riding this exhausted pony. And you're going north. Upriver, follow the vale of the Anduin River, and Holden is headed to Erebor in this trip. And he's really like, this lonely traveler. What is you have stuff with you, you're loaded. This pony is loaded. That's why it's so exhausted. And you go slowly up this vale, misty mountains to your left, Mirkwood to your right, going north. His pony is just as good as dead. Still like he treads, sway, and there is, you go north, and there's a rope. There is a loop. A rope forming a loop that comes into your, towards you. It's attached to a gallows, to a gibbet, and it hangs there on your way. And your pony goes straight that way. And Holden, in this trip, you seem to be completely passive, like as if you were as exhausted as the pony. And the pony continues, and the rope catches your neck, and the pony goes, and Holden hangs.
Yeah, at this point he starts to struggle like he's trying to get some cobwebs off of his face.
You see the pony loaded, with loads of stuff, treasure, gear, whatever. And you're hanging. But you see that actually some of those saddlebags are tangled at your ankles. And they're weighing heavily. And they're pulling you down. All this gear, all this riches, as if it was full of gold. What's in those bags to make them so heavy? That tangle at your ankles and getting you, hanged for it. You see Elaris, in a similar fashion. It's about time that he wakes up because, maybe it's time to go on, But as you approach him, as you approach the Holden's body, you see that he's twitching. He's quaking, What do you do?
I kneel beside him and gently rouse him from his sleep. Not suddenly, just probably my hands on his shoulders and a gentle shake. Awake, awake, awake. Trouble is upon you. Dark dreams, is it? Dark dreams like I had last night.
It would appear so. You dream of a noose? A noose around your neck?
Around your neck. Dark dreams, my friend, dark dreams, but only dreams. Well, we are in a dark place as well. These foothills we've come to, perhaps the foothills of the mountains, we may have strayed south from the path. These hills, there are mountains further south, and further south again, Dol Guldur.
It seems like we may be being led in that direction.
But a long way south is Dol Guldur. A forest road is before that, so unless magic is involved, we should still be far from that fell fortress. Only in our dreams this shadow comes. But maybe if we could keep to the north of these foothills, we could move at least towards the west.
Aye, if this is south,
But
then that should be east. Or rather, that should be west, and we can go in this direction.
I think our hope actually is in this lady. She is ancient and has wisdom beyond this earth. If she awakes and is not clouded by the shadow, our hope is with her, I feel. But we can perhaps use these landmarks of these hills in the meantime to travel to the west. But I fear for Narni and Baldur and his son. Days now in that glade. Baldur I know not.
We've got to rescue ourselves first before we can rescue them. But I fear for them as well.
Indeed. We can only do what we can do.
Nice. Holden, roll wisdom against sorcery. Shadow test. Right. Ooh, against 16. Oh, your heart is low. Yeah, your heart rating.
Yeah.
Heart rating, yeah.
I get the shadow
Heart
point.
4. Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so we had 4 against 9. 4 against 9 for the both of you. Yeah, it's creeping on you, but you know, just the way like Elaris is always rationalizing and looking on the bright side. It's only 4 against 9. You know, you're not yet miserable as such. You're still on the good side of things, looking, you know, in a sort of like rational way or whatever way, hopeful way, if whatever, you know, holds you together.
Yeah,
the memory of, you know, past deeds, this lady at your side, knowing them alive, waiting for you, gives you like the, you know, the punch to go forward. All that, you know, factors in, and you begin to explore this foothill and look for ways to locate yourself better. And does anyone rolls a healing? Do you want to try wake up again on that morning?
Yes.
Whatever it was.
Yes. Yeah. Can I use a hope this time?
Sure. You would gain one die.
I have favored with two die.
Yeah, TN16.
Maybe I feel like keeping my maybe it is wise just to one day I'll roll a good healing roll. So here we go. I'll just roll it without hope again. Great.
That's pretty much it. And that's as far as it will go. She looks into the distance. Her arms a little bit, you know, she's a little bit prostrated, like, you know, crouched, and she doesn't look so. She looks to, you know, to be. She was straight and naturally, like, you know, elevated. Just everything aligned. Her skeleton was, you know, without the use of force or strength, everything came from the ground to this balanced structure of her organism, and everything went up and up to the crown of. She used to be this natural kind of column of glory, and now she's just this contrived, sort of locked up, looking towards that invisible horizon, mesmerized, irresponsive, unaware. As if she was, hanging. She has this kind of like. But she breathes.
My hands soothing on her brow. I bring her into her head and shoulders, into my lap, and just try to breathe confidence with memories of happier times in Thranduil's kingdom. Just try to find hope and solace and some memories of joy and memories of her, and just bring that atmosphere of caring to her form and give her heart if I can, and sing gently a song of stars and times.
You want to roll Enhearten or Song, possibly?
Yeah, sadly, I don't know. Oh, well, song is not bad. Enhearten. Yeah, song. I'll roll a song and hope for another good roll.
No echo in her mind. She probably, like reacts to sounds of, some, like an animal would sometime, like, like there is something, startling up her. But apart from that, the understanding of music, or even the resonance of, that in the mirror of her mind is nowhere. You two roll a valor against dread. For this is quite distressing. Same story, I'm afraid, guys.
Another shadow.
Yes.
We can't follow the path being set before us, because that's just doing what they want us to do. I say if this is leading us south, then perhaps we should just plod on west, make our own way.
I think I agree. While to find any end of down that path is tempting. I agree to travel west. Makes more sense, and perhaps Our Lady will come to with another day's journey, more care. She may have something she can provide for us. I agree. Go west along these foothills.
So you do. And there's this. We could imagine that this image could be something, you know, of the like. You're actually going through some kind of like passage around those hills in towards what you imagine to be the west. Well, that's where you were headed. That's where you still are headed. The great west. The old west. Where it all started. So we'll take a quick break. I just want to remind you that thank you for following along on this mad experiment. You're doing great. This is not the end though. We'll come back to Mirkwood in 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
See you soon. So I guess you understood, guys, that the experiment tonight is not so much about player agency in the regular sense. It's more about your agency as a storyteller, looking to express what's happening inside, giving you you know, putting you back at some kind of wall, a sorcerous kind of, you know, wall, to have you look for dark corners inside those characters. I'm curious to see both of your races are pretty, you know, they're sturdy. They are a sturdy bunch. But how does that, you know, encroachment creeps on them? You know, how do we have, you know, two well-traveled, one immortal, one, you know, dwarfs live for a long time as well, you know, and they're very, you know, tenacious. But how does it go, you know? So not every session will be like that, don't worry. But make good memory with this one. Use this stage, this space to give yourself the chance once in the lifetime of a role player to really dig into those corners and look for the story. How can you put that in word, and do you find what content can you find for yourself in that? Because you've guessed by now that you are being rocked by some kind of unseen current. Mirkwood is digesting you over and over again, and you're being swallowed by something. So enjoy the ride, yeah. Don't panic as players. I mean, yeah, look for those, because Holden, Elaris, they're tough guys, but this is getting really, you know, hard. No, you, she'll follow. She kinds of you know, responds to you know, she's inclined to follow you, sort of. Irime is still mesmerized, and still she's having this weird hanging posture, as if she was, sometimes she looks as if she was tiptoeing, you know. And one of those days,